everybody? It is January 13th, and I just wanted to go over why silver will hit $100 in a couple of days or even a week, but $100 is a full blown conclusion. And we're going to jump into some charts. We also going to get into Bitcoin update. Thanks for everybody who has subscribed to my channel. And if it's your first time here, please like and subscribe to my channel. Also, I'm going to be creating a playlist of the game of money. So I started this channel to help the average person break down all those terrifying news headlines and the confusion of the market and simply protect their future and their family's future. So let's get into this chart. So I have been noticing that ever since we hit this $50 move right here in November, that silver has been trading inside of a $2 range. So basically what that means is once it hit 50 right around here, it bumped up to 51, came back down, and it stayed inside that pattern for a minute. Then it goes into 53. You see that? From 51 to 53. Then it comes back down. And of course, we had the big pullback because it was the first time that it had exceeded $50. So we had that good pullback to $49. Now watch when it goes back up. It ran all the way down to 47, made its way back up to 49, and of course 51. It hit that 53 range from 51, and what did it do? It pulled back. Now we can follow this all the way up into the move where we at right now. So let's see, get a 51, 53, goes up to 55. It made that massive run, and watch when it hits 57. It's going 57, 58, pull back within that $2 range, and then it just takes off from here. Same thing with 60. Goes up to about 63, pull back down inside that $2-3 range. And look, 63 to 61, boom, 65, right? 65, 66. So boom, pulls back, and once we get past the initial resistance of 51, 61, 63, 73, then we go into that phase where we go into the 65 to 67 range, and then it just blows past that. So now we're over here, and we finally broke out of that $75, $77 range right here. That's when we had the big sell-off after the margin hikes and all that. But since then, it has recovered beautifully, and we were stuck in this range right here, 65, 70 and the 80 range. So 81, boom, stuck in that range, and then it goes back up, and we broke that. And now, this is today, we're still in this 60, 86, 87 range, from 85 to 87. So once we get past that, 91 should be no problem. And then we get past the 91, 93 phase, and then we go into 95, 97, and boom, there you go, $100. Now, why will it blow past $100? Well, let's go into some things. So ultimately, we want silver to enter the monetary system again, and that's gonna keep the $100 floor in, but that's also gonna send silver way higher, price way higher, and it's slowly being added back into the monetary system. So let's check out this page right here. So we got India. India is formally integrating silver into the financial system by allowing it as loan collateral from April 2026, in a couple months, enabling people to get bank loans against silver jewelry coins similar to gold, boosting financial inclusion, especially for households with significant silver holding and recognizing it as a major asset. This move by the Reserve Bank of India is seen as remonetizing silver, expanding credit access, and diversifying the precious metal market beyond just gold. See, so that's why I said once it hits $100, it's gonna be game on, and we should see way higher prices. Now, of course, everything doesn't go up in a straight line, so we know to expect pullbacks. But ultimately, long as it doesn't, like, say it's in the $90 range and it's between 93 and 91, long as we get past that, then the move continues. Once it's in the 95 to 97 range, once it gets past that, the bull range continues. But if it goes from 97 and then it falls down to 91, we might have some problems. We might have some problems. So, long as it keeps trading at its ranges and keep making new highs, we should ultimately keep this bull run going. Another thing, so we got states making gold and silver legal tender again. And a lot of people on this channel are new to investing, new to the financial markets, and just new to everything that's going on. So, states, gold legal tender laws is your state next. And this is on Bullion Exchange. So, a quiet revolution in American money. As inflation continues to erode the purchasing power of the dollar, a growing number of U.S. states are rethinking the role of precious metal in modern commerce. Gold and silver, long considered safe havens, and now are being reintroduced as official forms of legal tender in select regions of the United States. This emerging movement isn't just symbolic, it's backed by actual legislation, infrastructure, and investor momentum. Great things, great things, great things. So, long as we keep seeing silver being reintroduced into the monetary system, it's gonna continue to run, and it has to be introduced to the monetary system for this bull run to continue, because I believe once we hit $100, that's kind of like a psychological number that the market and people have been anticipating. And if you've been in this market, you know that $100 silver is still pretty cheap. Like, I don't hear too many people complaining like, "Oh my goodness, silver is too high at $100." Like, that's still a reasonable price. But I think what will be the next phase of this run is if silver continues to rise too fast, so high, these big industrial players are gonna have to jump in and secure their supply, because as you know, silver goes into a lot of technology manufacturing in this whole AI race. And on top of that, you got China, United States, all these countries fighting for natural resources to lock up these natural resources. You got China with silver export restriction, even though they didn't export so much of it, but I guess they're gonna export even less. So you got that element of it too that you gotta watch. Like, everybody is fighting over these natural resources because the world right now, I feel, is deglobalizing. So you got Trump when he was elected. He wanted to bring back the manufacturing in the United States. And in order to do that, we're going to need a lot of these rare earths, silver, copper, all that. So you got the world kind of breaking up, and it's kind of every country, not every country, but the countries that you get along with, your neighboring countries, are kind of will be your partner. You got the West versus the East, so you got that playing a part into it. That's also gonna drive the price up. But back to what I was saying is, once the price gets too high so fast, you have to expect some of these manufacturers of these electronics to just come in and secure their future supply, because even though it's not a lot of silver that goes into some of these electronics, you still can't make it without the silver. So and until we find a alternative, they're gonna have to grab this supply, and that's also gonna be more buying to push up the price. So I'm not saying that it's gonna go up in a straight line, but I'm just saying all these things point to a very, very, very bullish outlook for silver and gold in the future. So that's what I wanted to talk about the silver. Now, let's get into this Bitcoin chart right here, right? Let's get into this Bitcoin chart. Where are we at? Bear with me. Let me close some of these tabs so we can go a little faster. Alright. Alright. So everybody is freaking out. When is Bitcoin gonna start pumping again? And what's going on with crypto? That whole shebang. And all the new people, what is going on with this chart? One second, you all. Let me get into this. Okay, we there? Let's close this silver chart. We're done with that anyway. Let's close this chart. Come on, TradingView. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Bear with me a second, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I'm gonna be releasing a new video today, later on today, and we're gonna do the next installment in the Game of Money. And this is gonna be a portfolio video, how you can customize your portfolio to your personal preference. So back to the crypto thing, right? So everybody's like, what's going on with Bitcoin? What's going on with crypto? Ladies and gentlemen, we are supposed to be seeing a down year in Bitcoin right now. So I don't know why these individuals keep going on about Bitcoin is about to have a resurgence and it's going to the moon and $1 million is around the corner. And I'm like, how? What about this chart tells you that we are in a significant bull run to where we're going to blow out and make a $200,000 high? That's not even the foundation of how Bitcoin moves. We have to take out this 120, what was it? 126 559. We still got to take out that high, and we are a long way from right there, right? But back to what I was saying. Now, if you look at, let's just go back into the last cycles, right? So you had the 2017 cycle right here, and it peaked in December 2017. Now, if you all don't know what I'm talking about cycles, it's this cycle that Michael Howell has figured out called the global liquidity cycle. And basically, it's a 3 to 5 year cycle where all the debt gets refinanced and new liquidity is brung back into the market. Sometimes liquidity is taken from the market. So he basically figured out that the market no longer moves based on the real economy or interest rates. Everything is based off liquidity. And he has some fire charts. I mean, this dude has the cycle broke down into asset rotation, asset allocation, and he has this Substack that he breaks down the weekly global liquidity um, charts and the measures of which countries are have liquidity, which countries don't have liquidity, and what's going on with global liquidity. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about these cycles. And coincidentally, the global liquidity cycle lines with Bitcoin's halving cycle. Now, if you don't know about the halving, Bitcoin has these cycles every 4 years to where the amount of Bitcoin that's being mined is cut in half. And post halving year, you have a peak. After the peak, you typically go into a bear market the next year. So we had the halving in 2024, 2025, Bitcoin peaked. This should be our down year. Now let's just go over the last two cycles. So it peaked in December of 2017. It went all the way down until right around late 2018, 2019, and boom, you go into 2019, you get a little run, it comes back down, and you get the halving year in 2020, right? Now, in 2021, it starts rising up. It had a double top this year. It peaked right there, right around 64,000, fell down, peaked again at 66,000. So that was the top year post halving. And then 2022 was the start of the next bear market. Same thing. You have 1 year, 1 or 2 years, 2022, 2023. We're starting to regain in 2023, and we had everything bullish about Bitcoin in the end of 2023. We had news about the ETFs coming online. We had all that. So that was pretty bullish. So we go into the halving year and we start to see a rise. Right? So the halving happened and President Trump gets elected. He states this Bitcoin strategic reserves bullish for Bitcoin as well, but post halving year we peak. So we are supposed to be down right now. So what I'm doing personally, and how you should look at this, is that you want to buy Bitcoin over the next 1 or 2 years, and it's up to you to decide your levels of where you're going to get in yet. Now, I don't think we'll have a massive drop like this one in 2017, where it went from 18,000 to 3,800, or here where it went from 67,000 all the way down to 17,000. I don't think we're gonna have a huge decline like that because it is more things supporting Bitcoin now. You have you have the ETFs. You have Bitcoin exchange companies. You have, I mean, more Bitcoin exchanges. You have Bitcoin treasury companies that are holding Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin. So I don't think we're gonna have a massive drop. We are already down from this high around like 20 to 30%, and yeah, I think we got a little room to go. I don't think buying Bitcoin around the 80,000 level is bad. Even the 90,000, I mean, you still bought it under 100,000. And the next cycle, we should take out the 120,000 level and make a new level, make a new high. Who Nobody knows where this thing is gonna go